What's going on, everyone? Today I'll show you how to do an oil change on this beautiful 1997 Mercedes C230. Now, arguably the most important point is to get the correct viscosity of your oil. So for example, this is Mobil 1 10W40. You can see it right here. This is arguably the most important part, and the reason why it's so important is because every single engine has a different type of viscosity, right? So you have to make sure that that's the correct viscosity and grab it from your auto parts store, whether it's AutoZone, Advance, etc., O'Reilly. You can easily do that by simply Googling, or you could just type it on YouTube, and you might find a guy like me if you have the same car, or maybe you could find another guy that has the same car as you, and you can just see what kind of viscosity is he using, and then you can just copy what's going on in the video. Now for this car right here, this is a straight four-cylinder engine, straight 4, and it takes 6 quarts. So we have 1 quart here, and then we have 5 quarts over here. This is the big bottle, right? That's what we're gonna do, and let's jump straight into it. Now let's pop the hood. All right, it should be down here. See that latch? You can just pull it. All right, yep, we got that. Now let's move outside. We're gonna have that lovely hood. We gotta wash it a little bit. So you can just lift it, get that latch on. It's actually a pretty simple process. This is my 3rd time changing my own engine oil in this car. It's actually a pretty easy process. You don't need to pay a mechanic or anything. That's the engine right here, and this is the power steering reservoir. We don't gotta worry about that. But this is the air filter. Now it depends on what kind of car do you have. You might have the air filter down there. We're gonna jack up the car in a second, but you might have the air filter on top. Maybe it's on the side, maybe it's down there in the bottom. It could really vary. So I highly advise you to type in the type of your car on YouTube, or even Google it, and then just watch a couple of tutorials to do it. It's very easy. We got our oil over here, filter. We got some paper towels in case we make any mess, and a cold water, because right here in New Jersey, it feels like Florida right now. It's like 85 degrees. It's crazy. Now let's continue what we're doing. You're gonna have your jack stands right here. You don't wanna leave the car lifted up with the hydraulic. This is the hydraulic jack. This is a regular jack. Because if that leaks, you could see 2 cylinders right here. The way that the hydraulic jacks work is that they pump in fluid over here throughout these 2 cylinders and lift up that little piece of metal right here, just like that, right? And that fluid might leak or do something, and you don't want to, be a pancake underneath your car. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna put this down a little bit here. You're gonna have your jack stand, your jacks right here. You're gonna twist it to the right all the way until you can't twist it no more, and then pump it. What you're doing is that you're creating pressure. Now on your car, again, it varies from a car to another, but mostly it's gonna be the same. This is a jacking point. Now what I can do is that I could jack this, move this like that over here and jack it from here, but I don't want to do that because I want to put the jack stands in this point, right? You can see it's a little rubber point. You can find also other points in your car or something, because this is a full frame car, an old baby, they don't make them as good as they used to anymore. If we take a look at the example, this is a newer car, a 2005 Altima. When you go down there, you don't see any, jacking points, but that, my friend, is the jacking point. You can see it's a little shredded over here. You can see it as if somebody bit on it. This is the jacking point in this car. The reason why they're different is because this car is a unibody, so it's lightweight. You can go a lot faster than this car. This car is a lot heavier. So let's go back. I forgot to tell you guys about this part. You can just get a catch can or something to put the old oil in, right? I've used this. I got it from Walmart for like what, $5 or something. It works pretty good. Now let's jack up the car. So I'm using this bag just to kind of keep it nice and neat. About to jack the car right here. Yeah, about right here. That's good. Now there's a little hack here. Just get some paper towels, right? And you can put them underneath the 2 cylinders on that jack, because in case it drips any oil, instead of having bunch of oil spots on the ground, you can just catch it with those paper towels. in case, you know, just in case. Keep jacking it up. Here we go. That's good. Let's take this off. This is an extra piece, we don't need it. See, it doesn't fit. So we need to jack it up a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Here we go. Alrighty, just a bit more. Yep. And as you're pumping, you feel the hydraulic jack stand getting a bit, you know, a bit, well, what do you call it? Hard. Alright, we're done with this side. That's it. It's leaning on this good. Shake it around. It ain't moving nowhere. This is it. Let's move into the other side. Here we go. There we go. I'm gonna put it down there. Nice. And then release it by twisting it to the left. Now what some people do is that they keep that jack up just in case, you know, they keep it up like this just in case these fail to do anything, but I feel like this is overkill. Some other people, what they do is that they get the spare tire, they put it down there just in case. Spare tire is a lot more safer than this. But I'm just gonna use the jack stands, you know. If you wanna have extra safety precautions, you can absolutely can. But you know, I'm just gonna keep that like that. Now, sometimes you're gonna be dealing with bolts down there. This is a protective shield to, you know, protect the engine from underneath. Just gonna take that bolt, and there's another bolt on the same side. Take them off. We got this one right here and this one over here. Over here. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take it off gently, just a little bit, gently. Oh, this is weird. Yep, just like that. That's the main operation, right here. As you guys can see, this is the oil pan. So we're gonna have it like that. This is the oil pan. This is the bolt that we need to get off. Now it's usually written on it, written on the bolt. What size is it? This is M14. I don't know what M14 means, but we're gonna try. It's mostly a 10 millimeter most of the time. 10 millimeters always work when it comes to cars. Most cars use 10 millimeters, you know. So we're gonna try that and then see what happens. Oop, doesn't fit. Let's try a bigger one. This is 12 millimeters. Oh, doesn't fit. Oh, I got it. I got it, guys. I got it. This is the correct size is 3/4 of an inch. Now we need to clean this up a little bit. You can use brake cleaner. Make sure you put the pan down. We could catch any debris or dirt. It's gonna be a bit tight, you know. Yep. Just a little snug. And we can take it off by hand. All right. Here we go. This is it. Alright, we're gonna let it drip down. Keep this bowl right here. Gonna clean up our hands, our gloves. Wow. We really needed an oil change, guys. We really needed one. Now it's time to take off that filter earlier that way back. Now we can take it down. There we go. Alright. You can just drop that in the pan. I'm gonna put the new filter in. You can see there's a hole in here and there's a hole inside. We're just gonna put this in.
Hi.
Hello, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing great. We're doing just like a quick oil change, you know? Thank you. Just like that, and then we're gonna take this old O-ring off. Don't forget, this is really important. And you don't wanna double ring it. You don't wanna put a double gasket on it. This is extremely important, guys. I'm gonna put this in the older filter, so we differentiate both of them. And you don't wanna put it, you see that space? You don't wanna put it, you know, without an O-ring, because then you're gonna have leaks everywhere. Now, obviously, after we're done with this process, that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna loop it. Here's what we're gonna do. We can either dip our finger in this area right here. Yep. Dip it with some oil and then kind of, you know, loop it a little bit. You feel me? Now you could use either the new or the old oil. It doesn't really matter as long as it's, you know, nice and looped. Some people prefer to use the new oil, but I really don't see any difference. You know, just gonna keep rubbing it around. Gonna put the new O-ring on the cover. Here we go. Just like so. Gonna put it all the way down. Here we go. Just like that. We're gonna add some oil here because the filter is on top. So what happens is that you don't want your engine to run dry when you put the new oil in. So we're gonna keep it like that in a crooky way until we put the new bolt down there, because if I put the oil, it's gonna drip down. We're still trying to get all of the old oil down the drain, and it would really help to take off the, you know, the engine oil cap. There's also a good opportunity to check the bottom of this, you know, engine cap, because sometimes you can have a bit of a gooey like material on it, and that could indicate a head gasket leak, you know, God forbid. Hopefully nobody gets a head gasket leak, but it's always a good idea to check the bottom, you know. Alrighty, we got this in. We're gonna put it on in a crooky way, just like we put the filter in. Gonna put this back. We're not gonna need it no more. Now we're gonna get back down. back down there. Now, as you can see, we're back. Now, as you can see, we're back. You guys see it? Yeah. Now, as you can see, we're back down here. It's still dripping. Now, it's a good opportunity to also check. Sometimes the washer would be stuck on here, so you gotta be careful. You know, just gonna let it drip. Get some paper towels. You know, give the area a nice little, you know, wipe. Alrighty. And we're gonna reuse the same bolt, right? There's no need to get a new bolt. This is the bolt, nice and new, as you guys can see. And this is the old washer. We're gonna change that washer. It's a copper washer. You can get it in AutoZone as well. You can just tell them it's the manufacturer of your car, and they're gonna give you like a bunch of them, like these. All right, just gonna use them. This is the old one, trash. We're gonna give this a nice little rub down, you know, just a little bit. Alright. Alright, here we are. Okay, now it's time to put the bolt back in. You can just pick those new gaskets and try and see which one fits properly. And we're gonna check for leaks in a second. Now, here's what we're gonna do. Let's open this up like so. And then just have a look at the, you know, gaskets inside. Here we go. So we got another copper one right here. Does it fit? Oh, let's see. It's a bit small. Let's see what we got here. Let's try this one. Alright, so as you can see, it's a bit small. We need to have a run to the auto shop store because these are too small. Oh, wait a minute. Did that fit? Nope, it's not gonna fit. Alrighty, so we need to have a little run to the auto shop store. Alright, I'll be back with you guys in a second. Alright, so I put this on because it's getting a bit dark over here. Instead of getting a brand new plug, I just got the whole bolt with the drain. They didn't find it in my local AutoZone, so I had to buy the whole thing. It's like $3 or something. It doesn't matter, you know. An extra bolt will never hurt. That's where we are. You can see it's still dripping, but we're gonna clean it up because we need to, you know, wrap up this whole shelf. We're gonna change it a bit, a little bit, just a little bit, right? Wouldn't hurt. All right, that's good. Gonna get this new bolt right here. Let's focus on that. Yep. All right, let's get it out of the box. Here we go. All right, this is the one, and that's the copper gasket right here. And then what we can do is that we can loop the copper gasket as well, but I'm not gonna loop it with the old oil. It's so dirty. Just gonna loop it with the new oil, and I'll be back. You need the keys? You need the keys? Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty, so we got some right here. Just gonna dip my finger. Just like so. Alrighty, I just dipped my finger in the new oil, as you guys can see. It's nice and yellow. And I'm just gonna loop up this washer gasket just a little bit. Yep, so it doesn't get crushed or anything like that. Put it back. Alright, you can just hand tighten it. You can tell it's going well. Alright, by hand, that's good. Alright, like so. There we go. Beautiful. Funnel, and then we're gonna add some, just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, yeah, like so, so the engine doesn't run dry. Just a little bit, you know, you don't gotta go crazy. That's it. And then we're gonna take this off. Gonna put the filter in, a new filter. As you can see, it's like a very straightforward process. A very straightforward. Nothing is too crazy about this, right? Just gonna hand tighten it. A lot of people, if you wanna be more precise, you can just use a torque wrench. But as long as it's snug, when it comes to the drain plug or the oil filter, you can just, you know, squeeze it in. You can feel it in. A little snug, a little nice, you know. And then it should be it. It shouldn't be that hard. Now what you can do, we're gonna take this back. Gonna put it here. And just keep doing it like so, until you feel it a little, you know. Yep, this is it. As long as it's, you know, nice and snug. Now put this funnel in. Alright, now it's a good opportunity to check down there in the plug and see if there's any leaks. Here we go. That's a little bit, yeah. Nice and full. Nice. Alrighty. So we got the bolt nice and snug. We got the oil filter nice and snug. There's no seams between or anything like that. We got the oil in the 2 bottles. Now it's time to start up the engine. As the engine running, check down there for any leaks. Alrighty. So we kept the engine running for about, I want to say like 5 minutes. I checked down there isn't any leaks. Let me show you guys down there. And mind you, you need to check twice. You need to check for the leaks down there from the bolt, because that's where it's more common, you know, to have any leaks. You're gonna check twice. After you put the new oil in, check down there, no dripples, good sign. The second thing that you should do is to turn on the engine, let it run, and as it's running, you need to get down there underneath the car and check for any leaks. Let me just show you guys. For instance, right here, this was our work area, and as you can see in that bolt, there isn't any leaks apparent, and the actual bolt is good and it's dry. It's not wet, there's no leaks whatsoever. And you can also check in the oil filter. Over here by the oil filter, you shouldn't feel it, nothing isn't there. What you can do with the old oil over here is that you could open up those bottles and then you can drop it off in your nearest AutoZone or your nearest, parts store in general. They're gonna recycle it for free, and instead of wasting it or harming the environments and the birds and everything, you can just spill them in here and those, and then you can just take care of them. See how easy it is to change your own engine oil? Stop paying for a mechanic and do it yourself. At least you can trust yourself, you know what you did. Now, I'm not saying nothing can go wrong. I've had plenty of stuff that could go wrong with simple oil changes or even changing the brake pads or anything like that. But you can always refer to a mechanic if you're stuck. That was it for me in this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe. It's usually not my type of content. I usually make content about tech and phones in general, but I thought I love cars, so I thought why not. As always, I'll see you in the next video.